Listen, Kevin, it's a volume game. I think you should drop your rates. You got to go down to like $99 a month or start selling PT for like $39.99. What do you think of that?
I don't know that you'll make the ARM leaderboard like that.
Ooh, you made our ARM leaderboard?
That's right, we did.
Oh, so maybe it isn't all about volume and cheap rates. Would you share your secrets with other gym owners on the show today?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. This is Kevin Munoz. He runs Peak PT in Maryland. He made our average revenue per member per month leaderboard. The top 10 runs from $502 to $854, if you can believe that. These are mind-blowing numbers. Kevin has agreed to tell you exactly how Peak PT posts world-class industry-leading ARM on Run a Profitable Gym. I'm your host, Mike Warkentin. Please hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. If you don't mind, hammer a like on this video and we'll know that we're doing the right stuff for you. So Kevin, let's dig in. I got to ask you right off the top, short answer, what's the number one thing that's allowed you to drive your ARM number up so high?
I think the biggest thing that we've implemented here is a foundations course that over-delivers. That's been the biggest kind of game changer for us and has boosted our ARM the most.
Okay, so foundations, is that similar to an on-ramp, which many people know, or is that something along the same lines?
Yeah, that's right. So it's taught to us as an on-ramp. We've branded it as a base camp. We call it base camp, or PT. We play to the mountain. But we really over-deliver on the front end on that program. And so conversion is really high from that course. And we've done it a bit differently. And so we can go into that a little bit later.
Yeah, so listeners, on-ramp, Chris Cooper's often talked about this as an excellent way to increase ARM revenue and retention. On-ramp is something that gets clients ready to get into your business and stay there for a long time. It's not a barrier to entry, it is a barrier to exit. We're going to dig into that a little bit further. But first, Kevin, what's the 60-second summary of your gym? Like, what are you selling? How many staff members have you got? Tell me about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. We run a lean operation. We got 5 trainers, 3 full-time and 2 part-time. We specialize in one-on-one and semi-private personal training. We pivoted while being with Two Brain. We did it all. We did one-on-one, we did semi-private, we did large group, we did whatever we could. But now we're just one-on-one and semi-private. And we serve busy professionals and take the thought out of fitness. You come in here, you know that the plan's made for you. And all you got to come in here is do it. There's not much thought left into it. Busy professionals don't want to think about reps or weight or whatever. We take care of all that for you.
So you know your exact market right off the top of your head, and you know exactly this problem that you're trying to solve for them.
Correct.
Yeah. Like, and I love talking to gym owners. When I ask that question, they're able to rattle it off the top of their head. It's incredible because it allows you to get amazing, amazing results. So I love the thing. You've got base camp and you've got Peak PT. You got the whole mountain thing. I love that. You said you're doing PT and small group. Tell me just how many people go into a small group for you?
Yeah, so semi-private is what we run, and we have one-on-one, obviously, 1 trainer to 1 client, and we do semi-private, which is 1 to up to 6 clients in one.
Okay, excellent. They get a break on PT rates, but they're still much higher than group rates. Is that the standard plan?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's it. That's an excellent one. Listeners, we got lots of great resources out there about semi-private and small group training. I'm going to put one of them in the show notes for you so you can dig into this. You know exactly what we're talking about. So ARM, how has it improved over the years? You said you made some changes with the help of a mentor. What was your ARM? Do you have some ideas before, and how did it change after?
Yeah, our ARM's probably sitting around 300 prior to Two Brain business. I think, again, the biggest contributing factor to ARM being high was that foundations course, or the on-ramp that is taught that we turned into a base camp. We also cut out our lowest service. And back to kind of that intro and charging $39.99, I mean, we are always trying to offer more value, and with that more value comes more pricing, right? And so a lot of things that Two Brain helped us with that on-ramp, we cut out large group training. We raised rates on our lowest paying members. We created a pricing binder that is built on psychology and not so, not in a way that you can just say, hey, this is this much per session versus this much per session and kind of break it down and commoditize it. So the pricing binder is powerful. The selling method that has been taught to us has been powerful as well.
I'm going to dig into that sales method in just a second, but I want to ask you first, cutting your lowest tier of membership, was that a hard thing to do? Did you lose a lot of people? Like, was that a painful process? How did it go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was our biggest driver in terms of headcount. So a lot of people were into that program, but we had to close down the gym basically entirely because so many people would go into that class. It was the lowest paying and highest demand service level. So The margin on it wasn't very high. People weren't getting the best results. And, when you sum all this together, people weren't getting the best results, so they wouldn't stay very long.
Right.
People were paying very little and asking for a lot because we're known as kind of a premium service. And so, at one point it just didn't make sense to do. But when you have the majority of members in that pocket and you're going to go cut that, that's a tall ask, especially for a business owner. We look at numbers, we look at how many people we've got, we look at how much we're bringing in, how much is going out. You don't want to risk 30 people. And so again, it all goes back to value. We stacked up semi-private and one-on-one to be so strong that, when you say, hey, we're cutting this out, but we're offering you this and we're phasing in pricing, which is something that we worked with Peter on, it turned out for the best. It's been our best year since. And
really,
it's all trending in the right direction.
That's Peter Brosvin, your mentor?
Absolutely. That's our guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So would it be equivalent, is this analogy accurate, that you kind of pruned the tree so it could grow bigger and faster and stronger?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you said you bounced back from that trimming and now having strongest year ever?
Correct.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's an interesting thing because you just changed your method. Instead, you were delivering a product and in, small group PT, you've removed one of those delivery systems, but you're still using the same, you've just adjusted your model. And what you've done here is become more efficient, more lean, more mean, and it's giving you great results. What kind of fitness do you provide to people? Is it whatever the person needs, or do you have a specific, method that you're attached to or anything like that? What do you do?
So with semi-private, the way that we do it, we have, we basically do 3 blocks, strength and power to start. Obviously warm up with strength and power to start. Then in the middle, you have hypertrophy. In the end, you have some sort of conditioning, whether that be cardio, whether that be more built on mass or high rep stuff. But those are the 3 blocks that you have. And that's semi-private. That's built out monthly and changed on a 4-week mesocycle. We take pride in our programming. So, it gets people a lot of results because you tackle. I've never had anybody come in here trying to gain more fat and lose muscle. So the science backs the method of training that we do. And then with one-on-one, we try to follow a GBC method. So, just supersetting, exercising, opposing muscle groups. It's good for fat loss. It's time effective. And that's really what our ideal avatar wants, is to make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing in a timely manner that gets them results and that they can check that box.
Yeah, listeners, if you're noticing what Kevin's saying, he laid out his exact method in about 60 seconds. He laid out his exact model in about 20 seconds, and he laid out his ideal client in about 15 seconds and gave me a 2-minute summary of exactly how his operation is running. If you don't have that on the top of your mind, figure it out, because that is going to be the key that allows you to solve problems for your avatar by using your method and your model to get them results. And results are one of the most important things when it comes to retention, because if clients aren't getting results, they're not going to stay. So Kevin, let's talk about this, because this is the kind of the whole linchpin of this whole show. Yeah. Where do you find your high value clients, and what does your sales process look like? Because you're moving, you've got a huge ARM. People want to know how you're doing it.
Yeah, I think the key word is value. You deliver a lot of value for your clients, and Two Brain preaches a lot. And it's, referrals is the biggest thing. If you get your ideal person, they probably hang out with their ideal people, and you get them results. You show them the value. You tend to get a lot of referral business. So that's one of the biggest ways to do it. We've implemented this thing where we do a 2-on-1 workout, right? So if anybody shows interest, hey, like, you get a free session, just bring them in, and we'll pivot. She'll kind of do your program, but we'll adjust it based on their modifications or needs, and that helps a lot. But
the
also,
conversions there must be super high.
Yeah, I mean. It all comes to the delivery of the service, right? You deliver high on the service. Referrals is the strongest lead that you're ever going to get. Yes, so, sir. I know you guys kind of beat the dead horse with that, but it is very true, especially when you're looking for a high ticket service like one-on-one or semi-private. Other than that, we do a lot of organic social media, and what we call retain, regain, and sell by chat, right? Not every conversation is a sale. But we just nourish people through conversation, being involved, putting out polls. And then we invest heavily in community events. So every single month we have 3 to 4 events. Some are members only, some are non-members allowed. And, we kind of launch partnerships that way. We just launched our run club by partnering with road runners. So we do an event with them, or we do an event at a winery or a brewery, or basically taking a look at where our people hang out
Wow.
and trying to make fitness a lifestyle, not just a workout. That's how we do it.
So, listeners, Kevin laid out his sales funnels there, and Two Brain teaches 4 funnels. Kevin talked about all of them. You've got referrals, you've got organic social media, you've got content, and you've got paid ads. Kevin's not doing, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not doing paid ads specifically, correct?
We just started with Google Ads, but
Okay.
but that's it. That was just this month here.
Yeah, so just a little bit of that, but what I'll call the paid ads funnel before that was these community events where you're going out and doing stuff and putting on events and partnering with people. And Chris Cooper's talked a lot about partnerships and becoming a local maven and connected to everybody. And they're like, oh, you need PT? I'm a hairstylist. I'm talking to you. Go see Kevin at Peak PT. It's stuff like that. So you've got all these different funnels set up, and he's got a calendar, obviously, of a ton of events that allow him to connect with people, start conversations, and eventually move people down the funnel into his office where he can give them a prescription. Talk to me about that part of your funnel, because this is cool. So you've got people in your office. They come in, they want to know about what you can do and how you can solve their problems. How does this go?
Yeah, so the way that the kind of base camp that we run is really based all on over delivery up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
We give people a lot of value up front, whether they buy or they don't buy. So they come in, they get a scan. It's the sweat-free intro, right?
Yep.
What we call it, or the NSI.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in here, they pop on the in-body machine. We get all their metrics, and then that gives us a baseline or a foundation, and we say, okay, this is where you're at. We break down the sheet for them. And then we say, okay, this is where you're at. Where do you want to be? What does success look like for you when you're joining a gym? They'll explain that to you. We'll write that down on the back of that InBody and put a goal, XYZ PDK.
Mm-hmm.
From there, we operate on a 6-pillar system. So we talk about everything that you can do will be under these 6 pillars. And that's exercise, that's cardio, that's non-exercise activity,
Mm-hmm.
calories, the thermogenic effect of food, basically what your macros are, and then habits.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll build a plan for them based on where they're at and where they want to be. Nowadays, with ChatGPT and all the, everything that there's out there, there's no level of programming that you can give that's going to be, leaps and bounds ahead of whatever that's going to produce. Mm-hmm. The hard part is doing it. The hard part is holding yourself accountable, or somebody holding you accountable to it. So we'll build out that program with that, individualized data from their InBody. And, basically we say, hey, look, if you sign up one-on-one today, this is your plan. I just built your plan here with you. Nothing changes. So if you don't want to sign up, this is for you to keep. You take it with you. You go do it, right? And people are like, well, what the hell? Everywhere else I go, I just get sold. You know what I mean? They just try to sell me.
Plan.
Right. I mean,
wow.
And people have signed up one-on-one, and the plan that I wrote on that piece of paper is the plan that I build out for them that we do. So do people get that plan, go away, and never come back? It's happened. Mm-hmm. But our close rate is 80% plus.
Wow.
Probably because of that,
Wow. So you literally on the spot give them a complete exercise plan that you could absolutely take into the gym if they sign up and just start on day one. And you give that to them for free with their goals and their scan and everything, all problem solved, and say, here you go. If you want to sign up, let's start right now. If you don't, that plan is my gift to you. You do that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
How long does that take?
People always ask the question, oh, how long is it going to take? Because they think it's free. And so they think it's just a sell. And so they're very hesitant, so I say, hey, look, if we really kind of get to the meat and potatoes of it, we get it done in 30. But for me to build out a proper plan and go back and forth with you and talk about what you currently do, what you're willing to commit to, X, Y, Z, it takes about an hour,
Mm-hmm.
But when you're converting at 80%, an hour is well worth it. And with the arm, it's well worth it. And it makes you feel good about selling. You're sitting here, you're writing proper plans, you're providing value. People see the value and people sign up.
You've laid out the prescriptive model from Two Brain almost in, to a T. Like you're getting people in, taking a measurement, saying, here's where you are, here's where you want to go. This is your goal. Here are the steps in between. Here's the exact plan. You are prescribing a solution to their problem. Mm-hmm. Was it scary to say to them, like, here's this is a hyper valuable document, to give that to them and let them walk out the door? And if so, do some of them come back eventually?
Absolutely. We've had it many times. And so that's one of the big things. And we've had people who don't sign up refer people simply because we've given so much value in advance, right? And so kind of just took a look at the people that I follow on social media and stuff like that. I haven't bought anything from them until I bought everything from them. Right? So it's like, they give you so much value, so much value, so much value. And you're like, damn, so good, so good, so good, so good. And then so when they drop something paid, you're like, well, they've already given me this for free. Like, what could be on the other side of that paywall, right?
Was that how you found Two Brain?
Two Brain, it was a referral. Honestly, it was a referral because I was selling turf here that I had no use for. It was some owner in Front Royal, Virginia that I didn't know he was the gym owner. He just, hey, I want to buy it. I said, okay, great, come grab it. He came, grabbed it, locked his keys inside his damn minivan. He had to sit here and talk to me. And I had time to talk. And so we're talking. He's like, oh, what operation, XYZ? He's like, man, Two Brain Business saved my business. Or this mentorship program, Two Brain Business, saved my business. I said, oh, what business do you have? And he said, oh, I own a gym. And I said, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I own a CrossFit gym, whatever. I was tied into it. I had a job and I bought into it thinking it'd be a passion project. It sucked all my money and time out. And I signed up for Two Brain. They saved my business. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. I'm with, this other company that shall not be mentioned. They're helping us out. And he said, yeah, man, Two Brain Business is the best thing ever, whatever. That he tells me this, right? And kind of forgot about it completely. And then after we were done with the mentorship that we were in, I started looking at other places. And I remember this guy had said Two Brain. So I looked into Two Brain and hopped on a call, and that was history. But I did it. I hopped on that call because of this gym owner that bought turf from me.
Wow.
That, him and I had he bought the turf, never saw him again, but, he had nothing but wonderful things to say. And after working with a couple of agencies, it seemed like Two Brain was the most tactical, strategic, value providing mentorship program out there.
Wow, that's an interesting story, how you get looped in when a guy's got his keys locked in his car.
Yeah, right.
So how did that work when you connected then? Because you said you've worked with other programs and so forth. You start working with the Two Brain mentor. What changes, how fast did the changes happen? And were you satisfied with the results? What happened?
I mean, it fundamentally changed our business. What I liked about Two Brain the most is it wasn't about making a ton of money. It wasn't about, do this to get this right away. It was more, look, you love fitness, but you got to run a business here, and that means providing value, and that means you got to, tighten all these bolts so you have a working backbone, and then from there you can get creative with the things that you do and the programs that you launch. And sometimes as people who are passionate about fitness, you go really hard and you grow this thing that perhaps is missing a proper backbone. So systems was the reason why we went with Two Brain Business, and the impact was immediate. I mean, talking about that foundations course, what happens a lot, you sit with people and people don't want to tell you that they don't know what they're doing in the gym. They don't want to tell you that they've never been to the gym before. And you don't want to tell you that they don't know how to squat. So you get a lot of people say, yeah, I'm comfortable. I just can't do it on my, I can't get myself to do it on my own. I just need somebody to tell me what to do. But I've done it all before, right? They say, perfect. So you can squat, bench, all that. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I just have lost the rhythm. And then they'll get into a semi-private class, and it's time for them to do all the things that they said that they do, and they do it completely wrong. They don't know how to bench, squat, deadlift. So this base camp or foundations on-ramp makes it so that people stay longer because we know exactly what they can't or shouldn't do.
Right.
And so that's modified in the semi-private in advance. And then, or the prescriptive model resell after the base camp it's obvious. They don't know how to do all these things, so they need to go to one-on-one. Or they've checked all the boxes, they just need structure, so semi-private is perfect, right? So it's kind of self-evident what they need. And so when you're like, hey, you need 3 times a week one-on-one, they're like, yeah, I do, So, and it's just the truth, and it makes you feel, it doesn't make you feel like a salesman. You're just, they have the problem becomes very apparent or not, and then you sell accordingly. So.
Does every client, whether they're going into semi-private or one-on-one, go through base camp? And is base camp a one-on-one program?
So that's the part of the over delivery with base camp is, and that's how we do it different, right? I think a lot of gyms out there, they start off with a lower arm, right? They start off, maybe a membership is $100 or $200 a month. And so their on-ramp is one-on-one sessions and, a lot, but it also is priced accordingly, right? Like your first month will be $800, but your next, continuing will be $200.
Right.
So you're like, okay, I'll eat this, I'll learn a lot, and then I'll go into like a $200 retainer and get the value. With us, it's like, all right, you're gonna pay, $5, 6, 7, $8,000 a month, right? But this first month, and it's only for 1 month, is almost 52% off.
Okay.
We offer 6 one-on-one sessions, 3 semi-privates, and 4 large. We run large group. It's everybody in the gym has these community-based large group programs included in their membership. So
Really?
yeah, on Saturdays and Sundays, since it's so broken up, and we have some people that morning people never see evening people, and one-on-ones never meet semi-privates type of deal. These community workouts bring people together in that way. So anyways, you get a big sampler of everything that we offer. So you go through 6 one-on-one sessions first. Then after you've learned all that, you go into 3 semi-privates, and you're supposed to put a large group at the end of each week. And so when we do it that way, people see the value, and they, it's on the pricing binder, it's stacked. It says what everything is worth as if you were going to pay for it right there, right? And then you say, oh, you get all that, but it's half off. That's why we can only do it for the first month, right? But you've gotten one-on-one. Not only have you gotten extreme value up front, it's a $500 package, so it's not inexpensive, right? But it's less expensive than if you were to get 6 one-on-one sessions only, right? So you get these 6 one-on-one sessions, the 3 semi-private, the 4 large group. You get to try everything that we offer. And then from there, the resale becomes much easier as well, right? We don't have to tell you what semi-private is like. You don't have to go into semi-private inexperienced, right? And after learning, we get to know you and you get to know us one-on-one, that semi-private is already tailored to you. So the way that we do semi-private, people's modifications, adjustments, weights, all that is done in advance for them on a board when they come in. So there's no thought.
So you've got a huge value stack up front, and you get to show them over this period all the stuff in your gym, solve their problems, and then they've got, because it's not underpriced, right? They've got a sunk cost involved in this, where they've got a complete tailored coaching plan in hand. Right. They've got this period of like 6 one-on-ones, all this other stuff you're doing, and they've paid a decent price to get it. Now they're thinking, oh, I'm invested. I have a coach who knows me. I've got this whole thing. What is your conversion from that base camp program to recurring membership?
Really high. I mean,
really high.
We include that resale in our sales, and so we're 80% kind of across the board. But I'd have to do the numbers on that. But I'd say we're higher on the resale than we are on the initial sale. So
you're essentially, if you're reducing, you could charge more for that initial program if you wanted to, but by doing that, you're getting people at a good rate to test it. And then you've got this entire period to educate them and show how great you are at coaching and solving problems. And then you're converting them to your recurring membership at a huge, huge rate, like 80% or better. I mean, that to me is like, that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that helps a lot is that you get a lot of buy-in from your staff, because it is, it's a 4-week sale that you're getting paid to do. Right. Where a lot of gyms are like, hey, take this free intro session. And if you don't have a sales team and your trainers are doing the selling, right? Hey, take this. You have an intro, like possibility. Maybe you make commission. Maybe you don't, whatever. But here, the way that we do it, we've sold them, right? And they're going to get paid for 6 sessions. And if they go into their semi-private, possibly 9 sessions, to basically show the value that we offer here. And then to get them as a success client. And, if we really talk about in depth about our business, we have success coaches, and we're a hybrid business. So we operate online a lot. And so kind of everything that you need is serviced by your success coach. And that coach is the person that runs you through Basecamp. So you go through Basecamp with this coach, they know you, they know your goals. They know a lot about you. They know, what's important to you. And they make sure that your semi-private experience, if you go into semi-private, is as private as possible, because they've got all the notes on you. They know what you're doing. And so you get a lot of buy-in. You don't feel like a salesman. You just are helping somebody with their issue. You guys kind of get a feel out period to see what would be the best route to take. And then you guys both take that route.
Wow. Listeners, these systems are clearly laid out. Again, every time I've asked Kevin a question, he's been able to lay out exactly the answer really quickly with like literal ChatGPT bullet points here. Like this is Kevin GPT. Like if you don't have the answers for this stuff and someone says, how do you sell? And you're like, well, you need to get these systems in place. Now, you could listen to this podcast and figure out exactly what you need to do. Easier plan, book a call in the show notes, and you can get a mentor who will show you plug and play systems and guide you through building this stuff out at warp speed. You can definitely do that. I'd encourage you to take one of those two paths, because if you don't have systems like this, you're not going to reach Kevin's level, which is world-class elite numbers. Kevin, let's send listeners out the door with one tip. If someone's out there and say their ARM is like, I don't know, it's like $100 or even like 150 or something like that, because mine was like 123 back in the day. What is a tip that you would give them, like a baby step one that they could take at the end of the show to start moving that number up even a little bit?
I would say break down the services that you offer into a dollar amount and see if you're really providing that amount in value, right? So if you say, hey, look, I'm coaching one-on-one sessions and large group sessions, semi-private sessions, and my ARM is $150, right? And then you break down each session and how much value is each session is worth, and you'll probably find that you're way ahead of that and you're just scared to charge that. And one of the big parts with Two Brain is that you have to be very real, right? And if you're not offering that value, then you got some work to do to make sure that you are offering that value. And if you're offering more than that value, and you have to be comfortable increasing that price and saying, hey, this is what the value of our business is worth, our service is worth. And for the sake of over delivery to you guys, we have to, increase prices, right? So break down your services in value based on what you charge and the services that you offer, and sum that up and see if that aligns with your current pricing. Sometimes pricing is just like, $250 sounds good. $199 sounds right.
Yeah.
Right. So really try to figure out what it is that's your service is worth, and then feel comfortable increasing those prices if you land at a higher mark.
Mm-hmm. That is great advice. A rate increase is needed by many gyms. Almost all of them are undercharging, and there is an exact playbook to do it. Two Brain has a spreadsheet, a rollout plan, and everything done for you. It's like plug the numbers in. Here's what I'm charging. Here's what I should be charging. Here's how I make sure that value is communicated to the consumer. Here's how I don't lose all my members. One of our mentors has done, I think it's like, I want to say it's about 100 rate increases or something like that. Not one of those gyms lost all their clients when they do it the right way. And I'm telling you, go circling back to the intro, when I told Kevin he should be charging $39.99 for PT, your service is worth more than that. And if you're scared to charge more than that, you need to book a call via link in the show notes, and we'll talk to you about it. Kevin, thank you so much. This was one of the most direct, succinct conversations I've had with a gym owner on a leaderboard. Thank you for laying it out in detail. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot, Mike.
That was Kevin Munoz. This is Run a Profitable Gym. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Please subscribe for more shows just like this. And now here's Two Brain founder Chris Cooper with a final message.
Hey, it's Two Brain founder Chris Cooper with a quick note. We created the Gym Owners United Facebook group to help you run a profitable gym. Thousands of gym owners just like you have already joined. In the group, we share sound advice about the business of fitness every day. I answer questions, I run free webinars, and I give away all kinds of great resources to help you grow your gym. I'd love to have you in that group. It's Gym Owners United on Facebook, or go to gymownersunited.com to join. Do it today.